Rome was the most powerful republic in the world. No kings, no emperors, no dictators, only laws, only senators, only the will of the people. At least, that's what they believed, because one man was about to change everything. A general, a politician, a conqueror, a man so powerful that Rome decided he had to die. Julius Caesar. And the day Rome killed him, Rome killed its own republic. Rome feared kings more than enemies. Centuries earlier, they had overthrown their last king. Since then, no man was allowed to hold absolute power. Not for long, not without limits, not without consequences. Power belonged to the Senate, to the Republic, to Rome. But Rome had a problem. Its empire was growing too fast. More land, more wars, more enemies, and Rome needed generals. Strong generals, ambitious generals, dangerous generals. One of them was different, Julius Caesar. Caesar was not born a king. He was not rich. He was not the most powerful man in Rome. But he understood something others didn't. In Rome, power didn't come from the Senate. It came from the people. He spoke to them, helped them, promised them glory, and the people loved him. The Senate did not. Then came the war that changed everything. Gaul, a region of the actual Western Europe, wild, dangerous, unconquered. Rome sent Caesar there, not because they trusted him, because they wanted him far away. But sending Caesar to war was the biggest mistake they ever made. For years, Caesar fought, battle after battle, city after city, army after army. He didn't just win, he destroyed his enemies. His soldiers followed him everywhere, through forests, through snow, through blood. They trusted him more than Rome. And with every victory, Caesar became stronger, richer, more famous, more dangerous. Back in Rome, the Senate started to panic, because there was only one thing more dangerous than a Roman general with an army. The Senate gave an order. Caesar must return to Rome alone, without his army, without his power. Everyone understood what that meant. If he returned alone, he would be arrested, maybe exiled, maybe killed. Caesar knew it too. So he stopped at a small river, the Rubicon. On one side, Rome's law. On the other, civil war. No Roman general was allowed to cross that river with an army, ever. If he crossed, he would become an enemy of Rome. Caesar looked at his soldiers, his friends, his veterans, the men who had fought for him for years. Then he said one sentence: "The die is cast," and he crossed the Rubicon. Rome was now at war with itself. Rome had faced many enemies: Carthage, Gaul, Persia, rebels, kings, but never this, never a war between Romans. Now the greatest army of the Republic was marching against the Republic itself. When news reached Rome, panic spread through the city. Senators fled, nobles packed their gold, generals gathered their troops. No one knew what Caesar would do. Except one thing: he would not stop. The man leading the forces against him was Pompey, Rome's greatest general, a hero, a legend, a man the Senate trusted. If anyone could stop Caesar, it was him. The two armies finally met. Roman against Roman, shield against shield, brother against brother. This was no longer a war for territory. It was a war for Rome itself. The battle was brutal, fast, violent, decisive, and when the dust settled, Pompey's army was broken. Caesar had won. Again. Pompey ran across the sea to Egypt. He hoped to find allies there. He hoped to rebuild his army. He hoped to survive. But the world had already chosen its side. When Pompey arrived in Egypt, he was betrayed, killed, before Caesar even arrived. When Caesar heard the news, he did not celebrate. He was angry. Pompey had been his enemy, but he had also been a Roman. And Rome did not kill Romans like that. At least, not yet. It was in Egypt that Caesar met Cleopatra, a queen fighting for her throne, a kingdom full of gold, a war waiting to happen. Caesar stayed, fought, won, placed Cleopatra on the throne, and left Egypt stronger than ever. When he returned to Rome, there was no one left to stop him. The people welcomed him as a hero, a conqueror, a savior, a man chosen by fate. The Senate welcomed him too, but not with love, with fear. Because Caesar was no longer just a general. He was the most powerful man Rome had ever seen. He became dictator, not for a month, not for a year, for life. Dictator for life. In Rome, those words sounded like treason. Statues of Caesar appeared everywhere, coins with his face, honors, titles, power, too much power. Some said he wanted to be king, and Rome hated kings. In the Senate, men began to whisper, if Caesar stays, the Republic dies. If the Republic dies, Rome becomes a monarchy. And if Rome becomes a monarchy, everything they fought for was gone. So they made a decision, a terrible one. They would kill him. Rome had killed its enemies before, but never like this. Never in secret, never in the Senate, never against one of its own. The men who wanted Caesar dead did not see themselves as traitors. They believed they were saving Rome. They called themselves liberators. The plan started in silence. Small conversations, closed doors, late nights. One senator told another, another told a friend. Soon, there were dozens, all asking the same question. What happens if Caesar becomes king? Rome had sworn never to have a king again. Not after the last one was overthrown centuries earlier. Not after the Republic was born. Not after so much blood. And now, one man held all the power. That man had to die. Among the conspirators was a man no one expected, Brutus. He was respected, honest, loyal, a defender of the Republic. Caesar trusted him. Some even said Caesar loved him like a son. That made him the perfect man for the plot, because if Brutus believed Caesar must die, others would follow. They chose the day carefully. A meeting of the Senate inside the theater of Pompey, a place where Caesar would feel safe, a place where no soldiers were allowed. No guards, no army, no escape. On the morning of March 15th, the Ides of March, Rome woke up like any other day. But not everyone felt normal. Some senators could not sleep. Some could not eat. Some wondered if they would survive. Because once the first dagger struck, there was no going back. Caesar left his house. Friends warned him not to go. Some said the signs were bad. Some said the gods were angry. He went anyway, He had faced armies. He had faced storms. He had faced death before. Why fear senators? Inside the Senate, they were waiting. Dozens of men, togas hiding blades, eyes avoiding each other, hands shaking. Caesar entered the room. Everyone stood, as always.